Hey guys, so we have some news for part 2 of the 350 million download celebration here. I just felt like it was necessary to make this video here. We got a bunch of stuff coming, and then some stuff that was also, for some reason, not pulling up on DBZ Space. I'm going to be shifting back and forth between this and my phone, but we have a bunch of new events coming, new stages and stuff like that. So first thing is we have this new story event coming, the Fated History Saiyan in Rebellion. So it looks like this is going to be more focused around Vegeta and his sort of role that he played within Frieza's army, sort of leading up to the Planet Namek saga. So, after the grueling battle with Frieza, Vegeta had lost his life. As his consciousness drifted to the entrance of the other world, the prince recalled the violent massacre-ridden moments that composed his past life. So, looks like this is just going to be focused on Vegeta's, basically, experiences throughout his life in relation to the Frieza saga. So it looks like you're going to be able to farm a Krillin in this event here, and it looks like he's going to be Dokkan awakening into a Krillin slash Vegeta. And for those of you who know what the slash represents in Dokkan, that means that this is going to be an exchange unit, something we haven't seen in a very long time. I'm actually really happy that they're going back and bringing this mechanic back here. So this is going to be preparations made before the final battle. Krillin, attack and defense plus 40%, plus an additional attack and defense plus 20% when performing a super attack. Medium chance of evading enemies' attacks, including super attack, and he gets an additional defense plus 20%, up to 40% with each attack evaded, including super attack. So, definitely seems interesting. Again, we can't really judge how good this guy is going to be just based off of this kit alone, because for all we know, once he exchanges with Vegeta, he's going to be a completely different unit, and I assume that's going to be the case, right? This Vegeta, by the way, is pretty much just going to be the, you know, Krillin blasts him through the chest, and now he's like Zenkai'd, right? Gets his Zenkai boost. So, a lot of people actually were talking about this guy potentially being an LR for Part 2, summonable LR. But I think, obviously, now that we have this info, it's pretty clear this guy's just going to be a regular easy ATUR free-to-play unit, along with some other units that we're going to take a look at in a second. So that's what we have for the story event here. We'll talk about this after. 1 second, let me look at this first. So then we have the new stages of story event for the Frieza, Ruler of the Universe, and the Warrior Race Emperor's Intentions. We have the Tech Zarbon, who's going to be Dokkan awakening into the Zarbon and Doria coming out soon. They showed this off on the Dokkan Now video. Well, I guess technically it was the JP video that showed this off. So we already knew this was coming, but Zarbon and Doria. The one thing I'll say is there's no way we're going this entire celebration without a monster Zarbon, is there? He was one of the few characters that I really wanted to see out of a Namek celebration, and are we really about to go this entire celebration without seeing a monster Zarbon? Please. I really wanted this guy to Dokkan awaken into like either a monster Zarbon directly or a Zarbon who transforms into a monster Zarbon. But we got the Doria and Zarbon. The Doria, by the way, also does need a standalone card. You know, him and maybe some kind of standalone or transforming monster Zarbon I definitely want to see as well. So just quickly taking a look at the Zarbon himself here. Again, it's hard to evaluate how good this guy's going to be just based off of his SSR kit. His SSR kit is not the best, but now that we know that LR Full Power Frieza does lead the Planet Namek Saga category, it's pretty obvious they're intending you to run this guy under his leader skill, right? His links don't really work at all with Frieza, which is the main issue that I had with this guy when he first came out. But they could potentially add stuff to his kit that will make him like godly next to a full power, next to any Frieza, right? Like right now in his SSR state, he gets an additional attack and defense plus 40% when there's an ally whose name includes Frieza. What if once he's like easy aid as a TUR, Zarbon and Dodoria, he's getting like attack and defense plus 120%, key plus 6, and like an orb changer or something when there's a Frieza on rotation? Like that would make this guy insane on that Frieza team. So even though he's not going to work super well with Frieza as a floater in that third slot, you have your two Friezas or Frieza and Cooler in the first two slots, or however you want to do it. And, well, I guess it wouldn't be Cooler because he doesn't fit under leader skill. Okay, so you have your like double Frieza rotations. And then this guy's like in slot 3, changing orbs. He's like defending like a god. He's stacking. He's whatever he wants to do. So I feel like even without him directly linking up well with a Frieza unit, he should still be pretty effective depending on how they end up building him. So we'll see how they end up doing that. And then let's go shift over to my actual game real quick here. I just wanted to show this other story event is also getting a new stage. This is the sort of the flip-flop reverse of the Frieza one that we just looked at. This is the Goku perspective. So this is the Legend of the Super Saiyan. We are actually getting a new support memory added to this. This is Gohan's Tears. Doesn't give any details as to what this actually does, but this scene is when Gohan is carrying Piccolo back to the ship after Goku goes Super Saiyan against Frieza, and Goku's like getting super angry at Gohan. He's like, take Piccolo back to the ship, and like what the hell are you doing? Get out of here. So and then Gohan's thinking about, yeah, like my dad's the Super Saiyan or whatever. So that's that scene. It'd be interesting to see what this actually ends up doing. And then, of course, they're going to go ahead and add some medals to be able to Dokkan Awaken the physical Goku from here, who I assume will also be Dokkan Awaken or EZAing at some point as well. So if you guys have had this Goku for a long time, if you were a player that's been playing since the 3rd anniversary, I would highly recommend take some time, level up his links. That's what I've been doing, actually. I've been leveling this guy's links. Whoever thought about that in advance, props to you. This guy could potentially be extremely good once he EZAs, and you definitely want to be ready for that as soon as it happens. That guy is also getting an EZA here, so hopefully. Then we have a new stage of the challenge event, the Collection of Epic Battles. This is something that they talked about in the news already. So it says the new stage will be added to the challenge event Collection of Battles. Complete all the missions related to the newly added stage to obtain a new support memory, Warrior Awakened Through Fury. So it looks like this is going to be Goku's speech to Frieza on Namek once he's a Super Saiyan. You know, the I am the Super Saiyan Son Goku speech. Infamously the like ally to good, nightmare to you, whatever in the dub, right? So, two things. Number one, we already know what this stage is going to be. This is going to be the opposite perspective of what we had in part 1, where instead of fighting the sort of villains of the planet, or sorry, instead of fighting the heroes of the Planet Namek Saga, we're fighting against the villains, right? So Frieza, very, very insanely powerful against that stage. Now, the reverse will be true, where Goku, right, is going to just be absolutely annihilating Frieza. I assume we're going to be fighting like Zarbon, Dodoria, the Ginyu Force, and then Frieza. So it'll be cool to see how they do that, and it's also going to be cool to see how they do what they do with the support memory, right? We currently have this one, which is the reward from the existing stage. This one gives Planet Namek Saga category extreme class allies attack and defense plus 15% in battle. So just going off of this, it makes the most sense that this one would just be the exact opposite of that one, right? So it would be super class Planet Namek Saga category allies key plus or attack and defense plus 15%, right? Which would be really helpful for this Goku. I mean, you guys have seen the videos I've done on this support memory. This is like the most potent support memory in the game. It's bringing Frieza up to ridiculous attack stats. You guys will see. I recorded a God event showcase for Full Power Frieza that's going to come out tomorrow. Frieza was hitting over a 12 million attack stat in the God event thanks to the support memory. So this support memory is going to greatly help Goku, and the area where I think this could help Goku, again, we're assuming it's going to be the same as this effect here. If they go ahead and make this the same effect as this one right here, this is going to help Goku because of the fact that it's going to allow him to have a much higher defensive number right away. And that's one of the big negatives that people have been pointing out about Goku, is the fact that his defense, like turn 1 in these really difficult events like Super Battle Road or God event, like it's not as good as someone like Frieza because of links like Big Bad Bosses and stuff like that. So if they're actually planning on making the support memory the opposite of this for Superclass Planet Namek Saga, this Goku is going to jump up a lot in power level. So keep your eyes out on that, or for that. Then we have the new stages coming to the Ginyu Force Extreme Z area. The next 2 units to awaken are going to be Burger and Geese, which makes sense because they were the next in line to fight. So, I mean, I don't really know what to expect from this. The only one I was really looking forward to be completely honest, was Geese. Geese still has one of the best abilities in the entire game, which is to see super attack locations, right? Geese on rotation can see where the super attacks are being aimed at by the enemy. What I would really, the only thing I really want to see out of Geese, obviously other than him getting more attack and defense, which is just going to happen regardless because of his stats going up, if they actually want to make this guy really useful and good in any event, barring he's not like fodder in terms of attack and defense, make his scouter effect able to be used even when he's not on rotation, right? So the same way that Android 14 and 15 work, the same way that STR Super Vegito Scouter effect works, as long as you have that activate like the first time, it's just there, and it's you're able to see super attack locations forever. So even if they go ahead and not really change much else about this Geese unit, if he had an ability like that, that would make this guy timeless essentially on this team. So I'm really looking forward to see if that's what they do with Geese. Birder, I think the main criticism that I have about Birder, I haven't really looked into it too much. I haven't really used Birder too much, to be honest. But the one thing about Birder is I believe he has slot restrictions in terms of what he's able to do. And some of his effects don't activate until he actually attacks. So like I believe he gets like dodge chance in slot 1 or something like that, but it doesn't actually activate until you attack. So a way to make him better just initially is to change the way in which that effect will activate, where make it activate before he attacks, so that if you're in slot 1, you don't instantly take all that damage from, you know, being attacked in the front there. So we'll see how they do this. I'm excited to see if maybe the third update to this, because right, we still need Captain Ginyu for sure. Maybe they go ahead and add in like the Tech Ginyu Force LR to get easy aid at some point too, because remember, you get the Tech LR Ginyu Force by collecting the other 5. So they're directly linked to these other 5 free-to-play Ginyu Force units. So we'll see if they do that, or maybe the physical one, we'll see. And then sort of the last thing I do want to talk about before we end here is the timing of the Part 2 LR and what it could potentially be. So right, last year we have STR Vegito, who released on August 29th. And then we have the Angel Vegeta, who released on September 16th, which is an 18-day gap. So pretty... was that 2 weeks and 4 days? So it's a pretty sizable gap between the release of Vegito and the Vegeta here. This year we have the release of Namek Goku on the 28th, so it's only 1 day behind Vegito. So if you want to assume that we're going to be getting the LR at the same time as we did last year, the same amount of time in between releases, this year's LR should release on the 15th of September, right? Because that's the same amount of days in between. And the 15th of September would end up being a Wednesday. Me personally, I don't think it'll be that long. I think what's going to happen is tomorrow night. Actually, let me take a look here. So this story event, let me scroll down here. Just says coming soon. This one starting from 9/7. Yeah. So the preparation period is 9/7, which is literally today. I'm assuming what's going to happen is today at 8 p.m., which is the normal reset time for, or maybe not 8 p.m. because it's a joint celebration. I guess it might be like 1 a.m. or something like that. At some point today or early tomorrow, we probably will get the full details on Part 2 of the celebration. What they'll probably do is they'll probably put the the top legendary summon. I assume it's going to be top legendary summon. The top legendary summon, sort of image in the news, but they won't show the units on the image. And then what'll happen is either tomorrow or the day after, that's when they'll show off on Twitter who the unit is. And then I am going to say I expect the unit to come out this weekend at some point, either the 11th or 12th. That's my prediction for when this Part 2 LR is going to come out this year. We'll see who it's going to be. Again, I think a lot of people were saying that they were, they think that this LR is going to be Vegeta and Krillin, which is not going to be the case now that we have the free-to-play unit of them. One character they have not represented at all so far from the Namek saga is Gohan. We don't have a single Gohan releasing in the celebration from Namek. Right, we're getting Zarbon, Dodoria, Vegeta, Krillin. We have obviously LR Goku and Frieza. We have the free-to-play, or not free-to-play, the banner unit Piccolo. We have third form Frieza there. Honestly, like, there's a few options I could say. I mean, if they want to do a standalone version of Vegeta here, that could definitely work too. The one scene, like the one famous scene that they've certainly suspiciously omitted from a lot of this, like I thought this would be a support memory, honestly. I thought the this support memory was going to be the Vegeta's dying speech on Namek. That's something they've omitted, Vegeta's dying speech on Namek. So maybe if they want to implement that into like a standalone Vegeta unit, I don't know how they would do that. Maybe that would be his revive skill, if they want to do a reviving Vegeta or something like that, and then like he gets wished back from the Dragon Balls or whatever. That could be an option. Final form Frieza. We really don't have a dominant final form Frieza, which is insane to me. 7 years in, and we don't have like a really mammothly powerful final form Frieza. He's like the most iconic form of a villain ever in Dragon Ball. So they could definitely do that. The N1 is fine, but he's really good specifically against Goku family. So Kaioken Goku, we don't have a good one from Namek. They could do like if they want to sort of segue into the next saga, they could do like an Easy A revamp of the physical Trunks, give him an Easy A, and then release like a Mecha Frieza LR, maybe? I don't know. There's a bunch of options they could definitely do here. So let me know down below what you guys think about that. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about before we end is this support memory. We talked about this a little bit before, but this is not going to be voiced. That's such a bummer. Like, they released the power level 530,000 support memory for Frieza. It looks so good. The animations are nice, and then Frieza's mouth is moving, and there's just no voice there. So that is like one of my favorite scenes in all of Dragon Ball, just ever. And this one, I assume, is one of the favorite scenes of a lot of people from the series. You know, where Goku's doing the "I am the legendary Super Saiyan Son Goku." Like, his mouth is going to be moving, and he's going to be doing like the iconic like pose where he's like powering up, but there's no voice. If they added voices to these support memories, this would make it so much more epic, and I really hope they do that in the future. But it's probably not going to happen. Anyway, that's probably going to be it for this. I think I covered everything. Let me know down below what you guys think about Part 2 info we've gotten so far. Who do you want to see as the summonable LR in Part 2? And with that said, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.